This top. The 20th of September 1971 might not mean a lot to you, but the significance of that day will be felt by Celtic fans for years and years to come. It wasn't until 1997, exactly 26 years ago today, that Henrik Larsson walked through the doors of Celtic Park. Wim Jansen, the then Celtic manager, Wim Jansen that knew the importance of stopping the 10 in a row by the then Rangers, now dead. We snapped up Henrik for a bargain £650,000, which is around about 750,000 euros. And an interesting fact that you probably don't know is Henrik's total transfer fees was only just over £1 million. Something that's absolutely unthinkable of in today's market. He obviously spent time at Celtic, spent the 7 years at Celtic before going to Barcelona, winning the Champions League with Barcelona, and then he went back to Sweden before Alex Ferguson finally gets his man and he goes to Manchester United on loan. It has to be said that it's what he achieved at Celtic. But then again, when you look back at his first game at Celtic, if it happened today and it happens with the way that social media is today, he probably would have got chased out the door with that pass. He would have got hounded and berated, and there would have been a complete meltdown saying, "Who is this? What have we bought?" But luckily there was no such thing as social media then, and it didn't get captured only by the TV cameras. But he passed the ball in the Celtic half to Chick Charnley, and Chick hits an absolute screamer from 30 yards out and scores against Celtic. I think it was probably the only time that ever scored against Celtic, and he was actually rumoured to be coming to Celtic at one point. But Henrik did go on to make over 315 appearances. He scored over 242 goals, and he had over 106 international caps. It's an amazing career that he had when you think about the fact that he only cost 650 grand. In today's money, it's just an absolute bargain, And when you look back on what he achieved and what he did for Celtic, and I think he set the standard for legends at Celtic. He set the standard that would never be reached again. It's he will always be one of us. But when you look back and you think about what he could have achieved at Celtic, and we think back to 2003 specifically, and the Europa Cup final, and I think that was probably one of the lowest points for him at Celtic. But he did talk about Celtic a lot. The fact that Chick Charnley scored that winning goal at Easter Road is something else. It is totally something else. But today we remember him as a fantastic player for Celtic, and remember the fact that on this day, exactly 26 years ago, everything changed at Celtic. Celtic would never be the same again, and that was all because of Henrik Larsson. So this is to you, Henrik Larsson, the King of Kings.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up.